I remember the first time that I transferred from one school to another. I had been teaching in middle school, and it was a wonderful experience. It was a wonderful principal, very supportive, very structured, wonderful experience. But I wanted to challenge myself to teach on the high school level. I remember being so excited and full of anticipation and just ready to go. When I started that next school year at the high school, although I was excited and still filled with anticipation of what was to come, I noticed that I did not feel like myself after a while. A few weeks in, I felt tired. I felt mentally tired. I felt like I had brain fog. I was physically exhausted. I felt overwhelmed. I felt disoriented. All of those things, I didn't really know what it was. I knew I was adjusting. It wasn't until years later that I looked back during that time and realized I was experiencing culture shock. The different cultures, school cultures, was a major adjustment for me during that time. So, if you can imagine if it was like that for me, moving from one school to the next within one school district, how might it feel if a teacher is transferring from one school district to another school district where the culture is totally different there? A totally new set of people within that school and the rest of the district. How the teacher must feel who is transferred to another state across the United States. And lastly, can you imagine how it must feel for our international colleagues, teachers who are deciding to leave their home country and coming over to the United States? Now, of course, they are fluent in English, but they more than likely learn British English. And now they're having to learn American English. And on top of that, if they come to the South, where I am, they're learning all of these Southern colloquialisms, where we have certain sayings for a little bit of everything. So you're trying to keep up with all of that. You're trying to learn all of that. You're learning a whole new set of procedures. There's a whole new pedagogy. The way we teach our students here may be totally different from the approach that is done back in your home country, and all of those type things. So it is exciting for international teachers, I'm sure. It's exhilarating, but at the same time, it very quickly, within the first few days or weeks of their experience here in the United States teaching, it becomes overwhelming. It becomes disorienting, and they can experience mental fatigue and physical fatigue. So those symptoms are real, and international teachers, please know that you're not the only ones and you're not imagining it. And it may take a longer than a few weeks that you may think it would take. It may take you several months or even up until a year for you to make that adjustment to the new culture in which you're experiencing. So I have a couple of suggestions for you, international teachers, as you are adjusting. And those of you who are not international teachers, you're transferring to another school district or another state, this may be helpful to you as well. The first suggestion is go easy on yourself. Be easy on yourself. Know that you're going through a period of adjustment. So make sure that you're eating correctly, that you're getting plenty of water, that you're getting bed rest, so that your mind can function at its optimal level as you are taking on all of these new challenges and information. The second suggestion that I would give to you is to prioritize communication with your family. Now, some international teachers, I understand, you are able to bring your immediate family over with you to the United States, and that is wonderful. That is probably the best case scenario, right? Some international teachers may not have family members to come over with them, but they're fortunate enough to have people from their country who also made the decision to come over. So you have similar cultures that you can share as roommates in your apartment or your home. And that's very helpful. That's wonderful to have that support system, even though they're not family, blood family. They understand the culture from which you come. And there are international teachers who have made the big leap and no, they don't have their family members with them. No one from their country actually, is making that step at that time to this particular area in the United States. So they do not have a roommate. And so they're having to kind of go it alone. So that is a situation that you have to be aware of and realize that you have to kind of step up a little bit more in making this adjustment as you're dealing with culture shock. So you want to prioritize communication with people back home. So whether your family members are back home or whomever, prioritize getting internet connections that are stable and reliable. Prioritize getting a cell phone that is reliable. Make sure if you're getting a cell phone with minutes or you're getting another cell phone with unlimited minutes, prioritize a really good international plan so that you can maintain contact with your family a minimum of once a week. And it will be even better if you can have a video conference with them or have a face chat with them, so that can ease the pains of the culture shock that you're feeling and the homesickness that you're feeling, that you're able to see each other, you're able to hear each other, you're able to speak your native language and feel like there's some sense of normalcy. Okay. So prioritize communication and make sure you do that regularly to keep you balanced, to keep you grounded. The second suggestion that I will give is to challenge yourself to meet people. If you're an introvert, meaning that you like to stay to yourself, you're shy, you're timid, you're not as outgoing, this is going to be a little bit more of a challenge to you. But challenge yourself, first of all, to meet at least one faculty member that you haven't met yet. Someone who is not in your department. Someone who is not on your hallway. Get to know them. Do that once a week. Meet at least one more faculty member that you haven't met yet or you do not know very well. The second challenge you should have to yourself with meeting people would be you meet someone in your immediate community. Maybe a neighbor, maybe someone in your neighborhood that you know. Perhaps you are starting to visit a particular place of worship. And so make it your business to meet someone and get to know someone in your place of worship that you can connect with, that you can call on them. You can ask them questions. That's very important. Also, you should challenge yourself to connect with people with similar interests that you have. So if you're into sports, maybe there is a community sports team that you can join or you can go and watch. If you're interested in arts and crafts, if you're interested in music or what have you, that you can connect with someone who has similar interests to you, that you do. And they can kind of help you in telling you about things that are happening around town that you may be interested in participating in. That helps to kind of move the homesickness away. It helps you to become a little bit more acclimated to where you are at the moment in your experience. The last thing that I would suggest is that you take the initiative to attend cultural events around town and around the state that you're in. So go to the festival, the flower festival, go to the car show or what have you. Go to these things that are advertised on the local TV. Go to those events, some of these events, experience them. This helps you to become acclimated to the culture here in the United States. You may meet people who have similar interests that you do. It's wonderful to get out and really, really experience the culture in which you're now in. That helps to alleviate a lot of the feelings of disorientation, the feelings of being overwhelmed. You start to connect the dots that, oh, this is what one of my students was talking about, and everybody was excited about the regional fair. So I understand why. Now I've had a funnel cake for the first time. Now I know what they're talking about when they are talking about getting a funnel cake. Okay, so you're wanting to really immerse yourself into the culture. Okay, so I hope that is helpful. I encourage you to get out there and really experience the culture, as well as to embrace your home culture and to appreciate that as well. Okay, it was so wonderful spending this time with you. Again, this is Dr. Lenore Foster with New Teacher Notes. Until next time, bye bye.